Starting. Okay, we're live.
Okay. Did you want me to start?
Sure.
Okay, Tamara Jensen.
All right, Brittany LeBaron.
Holly Mortensen.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so how about I'll read through. I guess, did you already set through what numbers you want them?
I didn't actually write them down. I just kind of read through them, and in my head,
I was surprised.
some of them.
Oh, sorry. I was surprised how tangled it got when I started.
Yeah.
Kind of messy. So which one did you think was the most important?
I put 2 or more people who share goals and values, have long-term commitments to one another, and usually reside in the same dwelling place.
And that was my first pick.
Was it? I put, and it might not need to be, but I put number 4 because I felt like a family. Well, no, I was just thinking a family is, because 2 people that share goals, long-term commitment, that could be 2 people.
Yeah.
That aren't married. Is that a family? Do you know what I mean? Like, I felt like anyone could share goals and live in a house. It could be 2 guys. It could be, like a guy.
Yeah.
No, and that's true.
They had to be related somehow. But I don't know.
Well, and no, and I was. That's the other one I flip-flopped back and forth with. Was that number 4 also? So.
What do you think, Holly? Tip us.
I don't know. I didn't think about it in that way that you did.
And maybe I shouldn't have. That's
So
terrible.
now I'm questioning myself.
But you're right. In today's world, that the new normal.
Yeah.
That is the new normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you think of like LDS, you're like absolutely they share values. They're the same thing. You think of our ideal family. I don't know, because anyone's trying to say, hey, we have values.
Yeah. Sorry, my phone started going off. I've got kids. Call me, Mom.
But what happens when a group of parents share a common ancestry? When you're married, you don't share common ancestors.
True.
I'm just making it complicated.
Well, I mean, you could even further complicate. Where I was getting complicated on that was I was like, but what if you're adopted?
Yeah.
Oh.
Then you don't.
My family.
Or you've got 2 his and hers kids all in one house. So.
Oh.
So I guess you can make it really complicated if we overthink it.
So maybe number 2, if we're thinking LDS, like LDS,
Yeah.
it fits perfectly.
Correct.
So should we we'll say number 2?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then do 4 next?
Yeah, because I actually had 2 and 4 flipped. So we try that.
Okay, those are the 2 that I kept waffling back and forth as my 1 and 2.
That sounds good to me.
I put for the 3rd one, I don't know, but I put number 1.
Number 1.
But yeah.
I think that.
Or could that be number 1?
Fundamental social group in social society typically consisting of 1 or 2 parents. Oh my goodness. Maybe that is because families do consist of parents and children.
And they could be adopted, they could be single parents, So maybe we put that as
Number 1.
that work?
I'm okay with that one.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll count that number 1. Then should we switch down and go 2, and then 4?
1, 2, 4, then maybe 3.
Yeah.
Okay, 3. Let's see which ones we haven't done. 1, 2, 4, 3. So 5.
Then 5.
A group of let's see. What? 7 and 5, I don't know. And then we can maybe put 6 last, because that's just grouping common.
Yeah. What do they mean by common stock in number 7?
I was confused by that.
me, that-
I don't know.
Common stock just mean common genes?
A group of individuals.
That makes sense.
Is it common things that they have in common, you know, are, I think 6 and 7 should be kind of towards the very bottom.
And what's distinguished lineage?
I don't know.
So let's
To me, when I go ahead. I was going to say, when I read distinguished lineage, my mind went to popular people, you know, if you've got George Washington in your line, your bloodline, or Joseph Smith, or, you know.
So what if we do number
It's kind of
7, 6, and then 5?
okay.
But I don't know, that's just a thought.
But is your lineage people who are in your bloodline?
Yes. But I don't understand the
So wouldn't,
lineage.
so I mean, if it's lineage, I would think it'd be more probably in front of 6 or 7.
Okay, should we go 3, 5, 6, 7?
Yeah.
Or 7, 6, either one.
I don't think it really matters on 6 and 7 which way they go.
Both very broad.
Okay, well, let's do 6
Yeah.
last. Does that work?
Okay.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, 7, 6.
Yes.
That looks good to me.
Okay, let's call it good. All right, and then questions. How about we'll just, I'll read the question, anybody have a comment, and then we'll go from there. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it says, what was challenging about this activity?
For me, it was pretty much the verbiage on some of the lines, you know, understanding what context they were using the words in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the distinguished lineage. What are they meaning by that? Or common stock, you know, so that kind of is where it got tricky for me.
Yeah. For me, it was, I think differently than you two think, and so I didn't think about it in a different way, and so then it was confusing after I'd thought about it both ways.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one.
I think that's what, and I think what they're getting at is that's why when you try to define family like the government is trying, it's completely impossible because it's not 2 plus 2 is 4. When you start picking at it like this was, it just starts some things one way, one things another way, and it kind of makes it jumbled. So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah.
anything else?
Nope.
Okay, number 2, how well do you think the average young adult understands the doctrine of the family?
I think that depends if you're talking those who grew up with the gospel and those who didn't.
Absolutely.
You know, I think a lot of the young adults who have not grown up with the gospel have no concept of why families are important, because the family unit has been so torn apart. But yet you've got those with, well, even, you know, they're the youth with the gospel. If they don't understand the plan of salvation, they truly don't understand why we have family units.
Yeah, and I think that I would say, you know, the average young adult, especially outside the church, but also we're struggling inside the church, because if you listen to so many of the conference talks to the young adults, it's get married, have families, and I think that, like, we understand the importance of family, but the world's telling us it's not important, and we're being fed all the time that it's not important, and so I think it's kind of a battle of knowing, you know, what the world says and knowing what Heavenly Father says. Because having a family is the greatest joy, but it's also the most work. And we're living in a very individualistic society that doesn't really want to sacrifice for family.
Yeah. Well, I liked what. Go ahead.
What was I going to say? I was going to say, like, the family is the main thing, but it's also like the simple things that I think young adults kind of skip over that make the family important. Like, I don't know, I feel like a lot maybe make their job more important or their education more important and spend more time doing other things than with their families, and so that's also a struggle in understanding the doctrine of the family, I think. But
and that's what I was going to say is pretty much just what you did. Is they're focused more on education and those worldly things and aren't thinking about the family structure and the importance of it.
Move to the next one.
Yep.
Why do you think it is important that we study the doctrine of the family at the beginning of the semester as opposed to at the end? I guess the thought I have is, and it was in one of the article we read, it says that there's no reason for mortal life without the family. And when I heard that, it made me really realize that, and this is kind of, I guess, part of the second question too, but just made me realize that family is all that matters. You know, if there's no reason for mortal life without the family, that kind of puts in perspective what God's view on the family is. And so I think as we have that foundation at the beginning, as we hit topics like abortion and, you know, marriage is not working and things like that, we realize, okay, the most important thing is a family. Let's now relate that to these topics. So I think it's just kind of setting your, you know, starting, I guess, planting the seed and knowing exactly what we have to come out with going into. That makes sense?
I think it sets the foundation for everything else.
Yeah. In Sister Beck's talk, it said that you need to understand the threats to the family so that you can prepare for them. So I think by understanding the doctrine of the family and the threats, then that sets the stage for how to deal with them later. Correct. As well.
Yeah, that's good. Next question.
Yeah.
Okay.
What doctrine or what principle, if understood, would motivate a Latter-day Saint to advocate for the family?
I think just simply what we just said. You know, without the family, being on earth is worth, you know, there's no reason to be here.
Yeah.
You know, that is the whole reason we have the plan of salvation is for our eternal families. And so I think if we understood that, you know, that would motivate us to advocate for family.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
That's pretty much what I thought too.
Okay. And then is at the end of your discussion, one or all. One or all, you discuss questions that post your link to the record session. Okay. So to sum it up, does anybody want to sum it up?
Well, I think I don't mind doing it. Bottom line is the family is the most important. That's why we're here. That's what everything is founded on. I mean, you go clear back to Adam and Eve, it started with family. Everything starts with family. And so as we go throughout the things that we're going to discuss throughout this semester, I think we need to have that understanding that the family is what we do fall back onto, and having those values and truly understanding what a family unit is going to help us in everything that we do.
Perfect. Any thoughts, Holly?
Sounds good.
Okay, so all it says is then we need to post the link to the recorded session in the Defining the Family discussion board. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast, but we should still be together, okay?
Okay.
Okay.